Hello and welcome to PTE Tutorials. Today we'll be going over an introduction on how to write an essay. So, getting straight along, shall we? Today's contents of the presentation will include what exactly is an essay, an overview of an essay structure, step-by-step process on how to write the essay, getting started, decoding a thesis statement, and giving you a brainstorming template example. So what is an essay? Essentially, an essay is a collection of thoughts, it's a collection of prose, organized and divided into paragraphs, which can have many purposes, but ultimately the basic structure is the same across all essays. An essay must be clear, organized, and easily understandable. It should be concise, and it shouldn't wander around different topics. It should stay focused and on topic. If you have an opinion, you must support it either with facts or reasoning or an explanation. What is the structure of an essay? An essay should have three main parts. An introductory paragraph that draws in your audience. Generally, it starts out broad and quickly narrows to your particular topic. It'll contain body paragraphs, which effectively support the topic that you've introduced. Then you'll have a conclusion paragraph where you may go over and review what you've talked about, or where you will just go over and make one major conclusion. So here's a three-point formula for making a good essay. First off, as with anything in life, you need to plan things out. If you plan out your essay in advance, it will solve a lot of the issues in terms of internal consistency. You will stay more on point and you won't stray from your original topic. Second, you will have to produce your essay. Write your essay with all the different components that is required, as well as enough supporting points and reasoning. The last part is proofreading. You will check yourself for errors and correct them before you submit. Errors include grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, typos, punctuation errors, anything that makes your essay look less professional. Here are some more steps. They will guide you through the essay writing process. First, read the question and then decide your topic. You can't start writing an essay without knowing what you're going to write about. You have to pick a topic. Then write your thesis statement. Your thesis statement is effectively the point of your essay. It is a statement that you are trying to either promote, defend, or even perhaps denigrate. Next, prepare an outline or diagram of your ideas. If you have an outline or a diagram, you can use that in order to help plan and write out what you're going to do. Next, you will write the introduction. It should start off broad and then narrow so that you can bring in your audience and then point them in the direction of what you want to focus on for however long you're writing. You then write the body of your paragraph. These paragraphs will support the thesis statement. So for these paragraphs, you need to write a topic sentence. You need to give the supporting points. And then you need to elaborate on these. You can't just bring up an idea without giving a little bit of explanation. Otherwise, it appears like it came out of nowhere, was an afterthought, or that you just don't care too much about that. Again, make sure that your supporting points are actually relevant to your thesis. Otherwise, you will leave your readers wondering, well, why is this in here? Last, you want to write your conclusion. This is basically a summing up point and perhaps a way of saying, and for future reference, this is what we should think about, or what I'm going to think about. So decoding your thesis statement is important. So before starting your essay, you need to read the prompt thoroughly and ask yourself, what is the thesis statement? You may need to read this once or twice. Underline key words that you think are important for being able to write your thesis. Put this in your brainstorming. You should have a list of ideas. An example of a prompt is this. Only people who earn a lot of money are successful. Do you agree or disagree? Use specific reasons to support your answer. The key points are, only people earn a lot and successful. That's the topic. What they want you to do is agree or disagree. Generally, you do not want to go in the middle ground. Doesn't particularly matter whether or not you either agree or disagree. The whole point is to be able to show that you are able to write a thesis statement and an essay to support either one. We won't grade you on whether or not you agree or disagree. We will grade you upon whether or not you are able to support your hypothesis or your thesis and write down supporting arguments. Now you need to brainstorm for ideas once you have an opinion on things. So your central idea should be your keywords. So your first topic sentence, as well as the general format of anything, is you will generally have a topic sentence for your paragraph that will explain the main idea for that paragraph. The topic sentence is effectively, why are you writing that paragraph? Then you need to have a supporting idea number 1, a supporting idea number 2, or 3, depending on the topic. And then you will need to have a paragraph conclusion sentence that sort of moves away from the current topic to the next topic. You will then move over to topic sentence number 2 or paragraph 2. The process repeats. You will have a main idea. That will be in your topic sentence. You then provide supporting ideas, and then you will have a paragraph conclusion, which kind of funnels you out into the next idea. Now let's talk about idea generation for a little bit. Now let's take one of the examples and see how decoding the thesis statement works. Here's an example prompt. Work experience is the best teacher. Do you agree or disagree? Use specific answers or reasons to support your answer. The important part is work experience is the best teacher. Do you agree or disagree? What goes through my head when I look at this is whether or not work experience is the best teacher. What exactly are they saying? Are they saying that experience is an actual person? Or is it that rather than instruction, you learn best when you're actually doing? Then I decide whether or not I agree or disagree. So, and for this prompt, I agree. So our first topic would be, I believe that work experience provides skill development. So I would write a sentence that provides for skill development. And then I provide examples of how work experience provides skill development. It does it by working with professionals and increased opportunities. Now, this leads ultimately to a better future. I would also transition into responsibility in that work experience teaches responsibility. I provide supporting evidence in terms of corporate culture, time management. Having both of those encourages responsibility, ultimately lead to work ethics. Once you have those, I would also say that you have real-time learning, which forces you to be pragmatic and use the latest techniques. Oftentimes, things that you learn in school are somewhat not the latest techniques, because books tend to take time to be published, and word takes time to spread around. I would then conclude by saying this increases the learning. Some final thoughts. Now, from the above template, plan the response and start producing an essay. After you've completed your essay, double-check and proofread your essay. This is an important step and will catch many, many tiny errors or silly mistakes. You need to check for grammar errors. You need to check for spelling and punctuation errors. Grammar errors can change the meaning of a sentence, as well as spelling or punctuation errors. Also, in your proofreading and your rereading, try to improve your contextual vocabulary. If you find yourself repeating a particular word over and over again, try and shake up the vocabulary a little. To English speakers, using the same words over and over and over again in most contexts is considered to be repetitive and somewhat annoying. However, you don't want to use terribly fancy vocabulary. This will come with experience. And last, since this is a timed exam as well as looking for a particular format, you need to keep an eye on the number of words. Thank you again for choosing PTE Tutorials. We hope that this presentation has helped you, and we look forward to seeing you on the next presentation.